Joker got the last laugh, but these films came first. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies to watch if you liked Joker. For this list, we're taking a look at movies with themes, characters, and styles in the spirit of Todd Phillips' Oscar-nominated Joker. There is a spoiler alert in effect.
What is it with you people? You say that stuff to my mother?
She's crazy.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Ain't no time for the week, slow time of the day. Man, it felt like I've been here for hours. Counting the time like I'm counting my blessings. I'm 50 cents short like they stole it with power. Go get my money like my name is Tommy.
Number 10, American Psycho.
The whole album has a clear, crisp sound and a new sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives the songs a big boost.
Before he was Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale played Patrick Bateman, another wealthy, good-looking businessman with a double life. Behind closed doors, however, Bateman has much more in common with Batman's arch-nemesis. At first glance, you wouldn't assume that this charming investment banker is a psychopath, but this makes it all the more shocking and upsetting when he breaks out a nail gun, chainsaw, or axe. And just as Joker leaves much open to interpretation, the ending of American Psycho also invites endless analysis. Without giving anything away, it'll have you seeing this dark and disturbing thriller in a whole new light.
You're my lawyer, so I think you should know I've killed a lot of people.
Number 9, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I look like that kind of guy to you, Doc.
With his interpretation of the Joker back in 1989, Jack Nicholson further proved that nobody plays madness better than him. But in Cuckoo's Nest, Randall Patrick McMurphy isn't crazy. He's a criminal who assumes he'll have it better at a psychiatric institution than a prison farm. But McMurphy forms a strong bond with his fellow patients, finding that many of them could improve if only they were treated with respect, understanding, and basic human dignity. Nurse Ratched has the opposite viewpoint, treating her patients like lost causes who should be broken down and cut off from the world. Like Joker, this Best Picture winner shined a spotlight on what can happen when society turns its back on the vulnerable.
This is not a dime martini. This is a dime. If you break it in half, you don't get 2 nickels, you get shit.
Number 8, Dog Day Afternoon.
Freeze! Nobody move! Get over there!
Todd Phillips singled out Dog Day Afternoon as one of the films that inspired Joker, saying that both explore, quote, how the anti-heroes become embraced. Whereas Joker is a work of fiction that eerily mirrors our culture, this crime drama was inspired by the true story of John Wadowitz. Renamed Sonny Wartzik in the film and brilliantly portrayed by Al Pacino, Wadowitz is a Vietnam War vet who robs a bank to pay for his wife's gender reassignment surgery.
I knew I'd never get my operation.
Taking place after the Attica prison riot and during a time when the Vietnam War was being heavily protested, many felt the film brilliantly exemplified a relevant anti-establishment message. Given the current political and social climate, it's hard not to get a similar feeling from Joker. Number 7, Fight Club.
With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away. Everything's a copy of a copy.
From Jack Napier to Arthur Fleck, the Joker has adopted a few aliases throughout his storied history in popular media. Likewise, the protagonist in Fight Club goes by several different names. To us, though, he's the narrator, an aimless misfit sleeplessly going through life full of pent-up rage.
Her lie reflected my lie, and suddenly, I felt nothing.
The narrator is finally given somewhere to unleash that anger upon meeting Tyler Durden. Together, they start a fight club, bringing together more social rejects.
If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
What starts off as a few guys throwing punches escalates into an anarchistic uprising against society. Like Fleck, the narrator's own insanity proves contagious, amassing a following known as Project Mayhem.
In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name.
Also just like Joker, Fight Club is a twisted, humorous, and powerful film that taps into hidden, inner troubled emotions.
Think of everything we've accomplished, man.
Number 6, Psycho. Imagine Joker if the first 30 minutes were told from the perspective of Sophie. You'd get a film that's narratively similar to Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece of psychological suspense Psycho. When Marion Crane first meets Norman Bates, he seems like a mild-mannered man who lives with his mother.
Well, if you want anything, just
Just tap on the wall. I'll be in the office.
Thank you, Mr. Bates.
The deeper Marion pries into Norman's life, she starts to see a side of him that's lonely and tortured.
A few years ago, Mother met this man, and he talked her into building this motel. He could have talked her into anything. And when he died too, it was just too great a shock for her. And the way he died.
Nevertheless, Norman seems like a harmless soul who wouldn't hurt a fly. As the curtain is pulled back, however, Marion and the audience come to realize that the Bates Motel is truly a madhouse. Psycho and Joker both polarized audiences with their depictions of violence, yet that audacity is part of what made both films instantly iconic.
They'll see, and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Number 5, The Dark Knight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
It's safe to assume that Warner Brothers never would have given Joker the green light if it hadn't been for the success of The Dark Knight. Batman had seen his fair share of dark incarnations over the years, but Christopher Nolan was the first filmmaker to answer the question, what if Gotham City existed in the real world? With his follow-up to Batman Begins, Nolan introduced the Joker into his version of Gotham.
Batman must take off his mask and turn himself in. Oh, and every day he doesn't, people will die.
In a performance that won him a posthumous Academy Award, Heath Ledger molds a colorful comic book villain into a chilling domestic terrorist. To compare Ledger's Joker to Joaquin Phoenix's is apples and oranges, but the grit and sense of realism Ledger brings to the role undoubtedly paved the way for Arthur Fleck. Number 4, You Were Never Really Here.
You actually got me.
I gotcha.
Yeah, pretty good.
Gotcha.
Of all the characters in Joaquin Phoenix's filmography, Joe from You Were Never Really Here perhaps shares the most similarities with Arthur Fleck. Both are lost souls who look after their mothers and struggle with trauma. The difference between these two characters is that Arthur's been stripped of his humanity, becoming a merchant of chaos. Joe, however, attempts to find purpose in this mad world by saving trafficked girls.
Yeah, can you hear me? My name's Joe. Don't move.
When one job takes an unexpected turn, Joe is torn whether to keep fighting or to give in to his suicidal thoughts. Even if Joe does rise up a hero, his deeds are likely to go unnoticed. Writer-director Lynn Ramsey crafts a brutal psychological thriller with echoes of Martin Scorsese.
Who killed my mother? Was it you or the other guy?
Number 3, Network.
Since this show was the only thing I had going for me in my life, I have decided to kill myself.
So what'd she say?
I'm going to blow my brains out right on this program a week from today.
In another performance that won a posthumous Oscar, Peter Finch forever changed cinema with his mad as hell monologue in Network. Finch plays Howard Beale, a news anchor who decides to say exactly what's on his mind. Viewers love what Howard has to say, and the network loves his ratings even more.
You've got to say, I'm a human being, god damn it! My life has value!
Much like how the citizens of Gotham start wearing clown masks, it isn't long until people are following Howard's example, calling him the mad prophet of the airwaves. In a world run by corporations, though, Howard finds that there's only one higher power, the almighty dollar. Both Howard and Arthur have their unstable minds exploited for ratings. Of course, whereas one becomes the media's victim, the other turns the tables on the TV gods.
Less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube.
Number 2, Taxi Driver.
You know what you remind me of?
What?
That song by Chris Christopherson.
Speaking of Martin Scorsese, Todd Phillips made it no secret that the legendary director's work had a major influence on him. It's not a coincidence that Phillips chose to shoot Joker in New York, the same city that provided the bleak backdrop of Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Both Phillips and Scorsese paint the Big Apple as a sleazy urban playground overrun with crime and debauchery.
Are you Charles Palantine, the candidate?
Yes, I am.
I'm one of your biggest supporters, you know. I tell everybody that comes in this taxi that they have to vote for you.
At the center of everything is a frustrated outcast who becomes obsessed with a politician, a beautiful woman, and finding meaning in life. Had Joker been made in 1976, Robert De Niro probably would have been the only actor dedicated, ambitious, and unpredictable enough to play Arthur. As Travis Bickle, however, De Niro gave us an anti-hero for the ages.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
While all the movies on this list share themes and even actors in common with Joker, our number one is eerily similar, and you will definitely appreciate it if you were into Todd Phillips' movie. So let's run down some honorable mentions before we tell you the movie you have to watch if you liked Joker.
TV30 presents what is believed to be a television first. In living color, an exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
I'm letting you go.
No. Oh.
There's nothing easy about you,
Yes,
pal. Nothing.
yes, please be like the rest of the world, blaming someone else for your boring shit.
Art, are you trying to poison me? No. Where's your father? Dead. How did he die? Drunk.
I think it's a sewer job.
You're lying. What's wrong with the street?
Nothing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The King of Comedy.
Thank you very much. A pleasant good evening to you. You look like a great audience.
Scorsese and De Niro re-teamed for this dark comedy, which is arguably the spiritual predecessor to Joker. Before playing Murray Franklin, De Niro starred as Rupert Pupkin, a stand-up comedian who believes he's destined for greatness. Rupert has his career all mapped out, with a talk show host played by Jerry Lewis being integral to his plan.
Now, if everything works out, you should be out of here by the very latest 12:30.
When things don't go as he envisioned, Rupert takes drastic measures to make his fantasies come true. By the time he finally gets to tell jokes in front of an audience, neither Rupert nor the audience can decipher what's real anymore. Joker also chillingly blurs the lines between reality and madness, but this time, De Niro assumes the Lewis role.
A lot of you are probably wondering why Jerry isn't with us tonight. Well, I'll tell you, the fact is he's tied up, and I'm the one who tied him.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
Yeah. Almost went back on the vibes. Almost went back on the truth.